Alright, so this guy took the wrong exit out of McDonald's and ended up getting stuck there. His tires were just spinning in the mud, and there really wasn't anything he could do on his own to get himself out. So this is a pretty straightforward recovery. All in all, it took about 20 minutes start to finish, but I've condensed it down to just kind of the basic main points here. So we're going to start by backing up to it, and what we need to do is just grab those front wheels with the wheel lift, but with the angle and the dirt and everything there, that's just not, and it's not a straightforward, easy thing to do just because of the way it's sitting right there. So I have to be very, very careful. We got a bunch of splash guards underneath the vehicle. We got the bumper. We got some air deflectors, some little bits of plastic trim and this and that down there, and we don't want to damage any of that. So with the angle that this was sitting, I actually had to bust out a jack and raise up one side of it. So I made sure I had enough clearance to get the lift under there and grab onto those tires. So there is a pretty big puddle going on there where I'm standing. And I just decided, screw it, it's raining, I'm gonna get wet anyway, whatever, this is happening. So, pump it up a little bit, that whole side of the car is gonna raise, which means that the bumper is gonna give me more clearance, and I'm able to get that lift under there without actually damaging anything. Now what I'm looking for here is seeing how far the arms actually came, and the one on the driver's side came out all the way, grabbed the tire good. The one on the passenger side came out enough to grab onto the tire where it would stay in there, but it wasn't far enough out where I could put a strap on it, or I wouldn't tow it like that. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting it up how it is, and then I'm going to move the jack because we don't need that anymore at this point. And then I'm going to go grab a block and put it under that passenger tire so I can lower the lift again and then reposition on that passenger tire. So I can get that L-arm all the way out to grab it, and then we can safely maneuver the vehicle around. So I'm explaining to him what I'm using the block for. I'm kind of walking him through the whole process as I'm doing it, and people seem to like this where I'm explaining what I'm doing, and they kind of follow along with the process instead of just worrying about their car. So now I'm able to set the passenger side of that vehicle down on the block and put my lift in a little bit farther, get it up a little bit out of that dirt, and then secure the arm all the way around it and lift it back up again. Now, since I am going to be moving the vehicle and there's different changes in elevation and it's slippery and wet and all sorts of variables to account for, I'm going to be throwing straps on it, so it is actually secured to the lift, and if I'm going forward, backwards, up, down, or whatever, the vehicle's not going to go anywhere on me. It's just 30 seconds to absolutely ensure that I'm not going to accidentally slip and cause any damage to this van and prevent myself from, having any sort of issues like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull forward a little bit to give myself room behind the truck, and I have these traction boards which I'm going to make a little ramp up to the curb because his family members are still inside the van out of the rain. So as I bring this up there, I want to give it as smooth of a transition as possible, not just bump it up there. And then I'm putting these dolly bars under each one of the traction boards so the boards can't just fold into the curb. They actually have an angle that they have to maintain. So there is going to be a little bump, but not nearly as severe as if I were to just jerk it up over that curb. So, a little bit of a bump, nothing too bad, and now I just have to get it back far enough where it's actually all the way in the parking lot, and then I can get my lift back up from under it. Take the straps off, because we don't need those anymore at this point. It probably, in all honesty, would have been fine without it, but it's just an extra safety measure that I took to ensure that we wouldn't have any issues when I backed it up over that curb. Now he's looking at it, and we're checking and making sure there's no fluid or anything leaking, no oil, no coolant, no nothing like that. Everything looks good. Van's running fine, and we're just going to lower it back down And there is still the cement curb that I have to manage myself over, so it's not just a flat transition right here. I actually have to tilt the lift down a little bit. And with the angle that is, and the air deflectors and stuff under the van, I have to use the jack again to lift it up enough where I can safely remove my lift, so I don't catch on anything under there. Now that that's out of the way, I can move the truck forward, get the clearance I need to be 100% clear and free of the vehicle. And now I can go get my jack. And then once my jack is off that van, then that is the last time I have to touch the van for anything, and the job is all but complete. We just have to fold up the lift, collect the payment, put my stuff away, and he was able to drive away without any damage and continue on his merry way.